Well, Franco was basically half animal, half human. No one could figure it out because he had this unusual strength and these unusual abilities. Like, who would just hang upside down on his toes on a chin-up bar?
Yeah.
I could never hold myself with my toes. He did. It was like a gorilla. And then the way he was like going from bar to bar with his hands, he had this unbelievable power. He was like a monkey. And so he was doing things in the kind of lifts. I mean, think about guy lifted like 750 pounds deadlift, and he weighed like 180 pounds. It's ridiculous. And doing like with 100-pound lateral raises and stuff like that I used for dumbbell presses. Barely could do that with 100 pounds. And he would do lateral raises.
Wow.
I mean, it's just crazy strength.
525 pounds, benched by a guy who weighed just 185. Not a typo. But here's the real shocker. Franco Columbu was just 5 feet 5 inches, standing next to giants twice his size. So how does someone too small for the sport become one of the strongest men in history? Bodybuilding worships size. 6-footers with biceps like truck tires rule the stage. Franco? He looked out of place until he started lifting. Suddenly, the myth that bigger is better started to crack. But if size doesn't guarantee strength, what does? Franco's secret was density, explosiveness, and freakish strength. His body was compact, engineered for performance. He didn't just look strong, he was strong. But here's the twist. He wasn't just a bodybuilder. He dominated powerlifting, Olympic lifting, and even boxing. That sounds impossible, right? How can one undersized man outlift specialists and outfight boxers? Franco was blowing up hot water bottles with his lungs, lifting cars, and doing things even the biggest guys wouldn't dare. But none of this should have happened. Why? Because Franco almost never got his shot. Born in Sardinia, Franco grew up a shepherd, building strength on the hills, not in a gym. No coaches, no equipment. He became Italy's amateur boxing champ, but still felt something was missing. Real weights. He risked everything and moved to Germany for better training. But now, he faced a new problem: being a nobody in a foreign land. Imagine arriving in Germany with nothing but determination and a thick accent. Franco wasn't just competing, he was fighting for respect. He didn't just earn it, he dominated. Italian, German, and European powerlifting champ. But just as he started to rise, fate dropped a wild card: Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold and Franco, total opposites. Arnold was all about symmetry and showmanship. Franco, pure brute force. Would they clash? Instead, they became brothers, pushing each other past their limits. Their partnership caught Joe Weider's eye, and both were brought to the US, the mecca of bodybuilding. But America was a different beast. Could Franco survive the big leagues? Most European stars faded in the US. Franco faced the biggest, most hyped athletes in the world. Could he keep up? Or would his size finally catch up with him? He didn't just keep up. He won Mr. Universe, Mr. World, and finally, Mr. Olympia. But then came the disaster that should have ended everything. Franco wasn't just impressive because of his dense muscular build. He was explosive, agile, and freakishly strong. His compact frame seemed tailor-made to handle insane amounts of weight, turning him into an absolute beast in both the gym and on stage. It felt like every inch of his body was engineered for performance, and his strength went way beyond bodybuilding. He crushed it in powerlifting with lifts that still make people scratch their heads. He didn't stop there. He also dipped into Olympic lifting and was even an amateur boxing champ. Can you imagine? A world-class athlete who conquered the ring and then went on to become Mr. Olympia? Yeah. Franco was that kind of rare beast, someone who seemed to be great at whatever he touched. His entire journey screams versatility and strength. That's why they called him the strongest man in Sardinia. And that nickname wasn't just for show. The man was out there lifting cars, blowing up hot water bottles with his lungs, and taking on feats that even heavier athletes wouldn't dare try. While others got attention for how they looked, Franco made headlines for what he could do. His greatness was all about defying expectations. In a world where height and sheer size ruled the stage, he proved that real strength isn't about how big you look. It's about what you can do. He was like a tank, small, compact, and unstoppable. And the craziest part? Even though he was shorter than most of his rivals, he almost never felt smaller when it came to performance. World's Strongest Man contest? Catastrophic injury. Doctors said he'd never walk again, let alone compete. For most, that's game over. But Franco's story wasn't finished. Still, something was missing. Franco felt drawn to real weights. That pull led him to powerlifting, a sport that would push his strength to the limit. And here's the thing, he didn't just try it, he owned it. His numbers started turning heads fast, and before long, he decided to go all in. And if you found this video valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next drop. We're just getting started. Just imagine it, a thick accented immigrant lifting ridiculous weights and earning respect wherever he competed. That was the birth of a legend. Franco wasn't just strong by local standards, he was world-class. At every competition, he made it clear he wasn't there to play around. His lifts rattled even the most seasoned lifters. And the wildest part? He did it all with a body most people thought was too small for professional powerlifting. Sardinia may have shaped a warrior, but it was Germany that gave him the stage to unleash his power on the world. That chapter of his life proved something big. Strength doesn't just come from muscle. It comes from the guts to leave your comfort zone and chase something greater. It was in Germany that Franco Columbu's path crossed with another determined young guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Even though they were completely different in size, they had one major thing in common: a crazy hunger to win. And just like that, they clicked. What started as training partners quickly became a full-on brotherhood. They were roommates, best friends, and friendly rivals, chasing the perfect physique. Training together pushed both of them to new heights. Arnold brought the stage presence and picture-perfect symmetry. Franco countered with raw strength and thick, dense muscle. It was the perfect mix of beauty and brute power. Word about the duo spread fast, and it didn't take long for them to catch the eye of the biggest name in the industry at the time, Joe Weider. In 1969, Joe brought them both to the United States, the true heart of the bodybuilding world. For Franco, this was the turning point. He wasn't just a strong dude from Europe anymore. He was now a professional athlete in America, training with the best, competing on the biggest stages, and showing off his power to millions. From that moment on, the wins started rolling in. He took home titles like Mr. Universe, Mr. World, and, of course, the legendary Mr. Olympia. In 1976, he won the overall Mr. Olympia title, a historic feat for someone his size. But his biggest triumph came in 1981, when he won the Olympia again at 40 years old, after an injury many believed would end his career for good. That injury happened in 1977, during a World's Strongest Man event. People said he'd never walk again. But not only did he walked back onto the Olympia stage and won. That's not just strength. That's the kind of comeback that defies medicine, time, and every imaginable limit. 4 years of pain, rehab, and rebuilding. At 40, Franco steps on the Olympia stage and wins.
And get the chalk and put the chalk on my hands and feel like I can lift anything with these hands. I wanted to do my deadlift with no straps. Because I said, if you do straps, it's like you becoming a robot. It comes natural, real.
How? His routine was brutal. Twice a day, 6 days a week, over 5 hours daily. 20-plus sets per muscle group. He even took ballet to perfect his posing, because every detail mattered. But here's the final challenge. Can you build this kind of strength, mindset, and resilience? Franco Columbu's 525-pound bench wasn't just a number. It was a message. Your limits are negotiable. Size doesn't define power. Heart and hustle do. At the end of the day, building a physique like this isn't just about lifting weights. It's about having the right plan. That's why we created a digital guide that shows you exactly how to train and eat like the legends. You'll find the link down below. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Because this is just the beginning of your transformation. And if you found this video valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next drop. We're just getting started. That was Iron Beast Warrior. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.